Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. Ohayo gozaimasu, konnichiwa, and konbanwa. Thank you for joining. This is the Global Chamber League of Extraordinaries, the first ever signature event we ever had. We've been doing it for a long, long time, and it's gone virtual over the last X number of years, especially after COVID. It's really intended to help members connect up with other members and support each other. So, what we'd love to hear from each of you is who you'd like to meet. Ideally, that would be the first approach is like, hey, here's who I'd like to meet. It's these kinds of people in these regions. They speak these languages. They have these problems. That's the best thing for us. And by the way, it also reminds me if you haven't filled out Globi yet, please do. There's a form available, and I'm sure we'll probably insert that form into this meeting. Globi is an amazing gal. She's an AI tool that we are able to use for members every day coming in to be able to have Globi review who each member should meet and what events are ideal for members. That form helps her, helps us understand you more, and this meeting helps us as well. So thank you for all coming. Let's start with Francis Ota. He is based in Southern California. He's helps companies on the financial side, kind of a fractional CFO, and his knowledge of business provides them a lot of capability to be able to get their ship in order. So, Francis, it's been a pleasure to know you these past few years and watch you in action. Congratulations on your success. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Great, thanks, Doug. So, hello, everybody. As Doug mentioned, Francis Ota, I'm a partner at To Go Advisory Group, which is a C-level consulting firm, home based in the San Francisco Bay Area, but I'm the sole partner here located in Los Angeles. And my area of expertise and focus is in international business. I co-lead the international business group. And who I'd like to meet are anyone who's dealing with small to medium-sized companies who need a variety of services. I myself, a CFO, but we have about 30 partners who range in their skill sets and experience from chief operating officers, chief technology officers, chief information officers, chief marketing officers. But the point that I'm making here is that we have a broad breadth of experience, functional experience, but also industry experience as well. I have about 20 plus years in medical diagnostics and device and technology-oriented companies. So I'd like to meet anyone who deals with small to medium-sized companies who have a need for any variety of needs. In fact, I have a client right now. I'm working with them on the AI side of things. They're a food processing company, and they do deal internationally, and they're looking to get help on strategizing and deploying AI. They want help from that. They also are looking to improve their manufacturing processes with robotics, et cetera. So how we approach these kinds of clients is there's the team of us that approach it because I might be a CFO, but not have the robotics expertise. So I call on one of my partners, they provide that. I have another partner who's an AI expert, or not just one AI expert, we've got a few of them. So anything you guys can do for us to introduce us to your clients who are internationally oriented, small to medium-sized businesses is my focus. We as a firm also deal with larger billion-dollar companies as well. But my range is anything as small as 20 million. I might go down a little lower, up to about 150, $200 million. So look forward to hearing from you. And that's it for me. Thanks, Doug.
Amazing. You're an AI expert too, huh? Wow. You're the Renaissance man.
I'm learning as fast as I can, but AI is evolving so quickly. It takes a village to keep up with things, though. It's like I say, I've got other partners who are Silicon Valley type experts who I kind of lean on, and they help me keep abreast of new things that are happening.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts for Francis? Anybody want to partner with him or have ideas for connections? And while you're chewing on that, Cesar Trabanco is in the call. It's at a little bit of a challenging time during the day and for dinner. Cesar, are you there? Are you able to? Have you already eaten your dinner, or what's your situation?
Hi, Doug. I haven't yet. I probably will do after the call or during the call. It depends how everyone. Good to see you all here. I just put the link to the Globi form there. I heard you were talking about it, Doug. So I just put it in the chat. So if any of you haven't completed yet, please just take a couple of minutes. It's really interesting the amount of information that we can get.
It's incredibly helpful, and it also allows if Cesar has a conversation with someone, I get to see it, and other people within the team get to see who you want to meet, and then of course Globi as well. Anybody have
Yeah.
any thoughts around Francis? Do you need any additional resources, Francis? Are you looking for any additional AI resources? Or are you good on that side?
Actually, Doug, as we work with international clients, areas that we might be able to collaborate on is on the FX side, international treasury type work. That might be an area or opportunity that we might be able to collaborate.
Okay.
As some of the areas that I think um, in the area of cash management and managing working capital, uh, anything to manage AP and accelerate AR. Would love to hear the newest and greatest ideas of how to do that. Obviously, I have quite a bit of experience in that, but that's not my focus per se. So ideas about that would be great. Ideas about um, cash management, FX. Those are areas that I'd love to hear new thoughts about.
So maybe a Brad Cartier of throughput strategies, Cesar, would be a good one. He's a theory of constraints guy. So he's a throughput kind of focus and works with some interesting clients. That could be an interesting one for you.
Sounds good, Doug.
Very good. Well, you mentioned FX. Why don't we go talk next to Ryan Murray? Ryan, how are you? Ascendant FX. Lo and behold, you just
Yeah.
you mention a word, and the next thing you know, something good happens. And every time Ryan's around, something good happens. Based in Phoenix, ex-sports superstar. Congratulations. You still do a
Yeah.
little bit of sports once in a while?
No, those days are long gone. I'm leaving to my kids now. So, but I did not pay Francis for that commercial. But I'm more than happy, Francis. I'll connect with you offline. But um, I work for Ascendant. We're a global FX foreign currency payables and receivables platform. So we work with mid-sized companies headquartered in the U.S., Canada, or the U.K. And we, as I said, provide both payables and receivables. 99% of the prospects that I call on are currently using their bank. So the question is, why you versus the bank? And it's pretty simple. We're easier, we're faster, and we're a hell of a lot cheaper. So that's typically why we're able to compete with the large banks because of the technology that we have and the platform that we have and the smooth interaction that our customers engage with us. We tend to pull away a lot of business from an FX perspective from the banks. So if that's something that, if you have a client that needs to receive a payment from a global provider, or you have a client that needs to pay somebody globally, we pay in, I don't have to look up now, 140 currencies in 235 countries. Everything's electronic, and it's real time, and we can connect via file upload or API, or you can log in and do it old school if you want, to a really good user experience. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, Doug.
It's a good story. Ryan is also on the Global Chamber Phoenix Advisory Board. Thank you for that. The next meeting for Phoenix is the monthly Globinar this Friday, noon Mountain Time. So if anybody wants to tap into the Phoenix market, please feel free to do that. The Los Angeles market is this Thursday at 10 a.m. And the city of Los Angeles will be presenting a really interesting lady who runs the economic development department. Does anybody have any questions for Ryan, or thoughts or ideas? We know that Francis has got a connection there, so that's good. One person that could be interesting for you, Ryan, is in your neighborhood, Matt Silverman. He's a new member from Amelie, and I, for some reason, hadn't either heard of the company or Matt, which is my shame because they do amazing international work. Maybe you have, but Matt, welcome to Global Chamber. This may be your first League of Extraordinaries. I'm not sure, but please let us know more about who you would like to meet and a little bit of background on you and Amelie.
Thank you. So, and appreciate the invitation. And this is my first call. So happy to be here with all of you.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Doug. So as Doug said, I'm Matt Silverman with Amelie. We are a global trade compliance consulting company. So when we think trade compliance, exports, imports, sanctions, all the things that have really been in the news, especially a lot in the last year or so. From tariffs to export controls to Venezuela and Russia and China sanctions, everything that you can really think of. We have a team of about 40 plus consultants. We've grown exponentially over the past 5 years. We compete really with the big boys, with the big four when it comes to doing consulting work. We call ourselves a different kind of consulting company, though, in part because we have very experienced people within the organization, even at a small level. These are not consultants who are right out of college or anything like that. These are people with 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years of experience who have worked in-house for companies, who understand both the compliance issues involved from a trade perspective, as well as the importance of weighing business interests. So it would be wonderful to be able to meet other people and companies who are looking for help in building their overall global trade program, whether from an import, export, sanctions perspective. Companies who are maybe struggling with everything going on now from a tariff perspective, looking for ways to mitigate some of their maybe tariff implications. Companies who are looking to get into new markets, whether that's what's going on now with Venezuela or other countries that we see in the news every day, how to get licenses for them, how to open up markets, as well as everything from really operational issues, shipping and logistics issues. So I included a little bit of an overview of our company in the chat on the right, as well as my contact info and my company's contact information, so you can see a little bit more about us. Finally, I'd say we are growing and always looking to grow more, and always looking for other strategic partners globally who we can join with, who maybe can fill in some of the gaps and some of the subject matter expertise that we're looking for. So if you're a company like that, another consultant, we'd love to talk to you as well.
Definitely a connection for all of you, and considering what we're all doing. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions for Matt?
Hey, Matt, Cesar here. And I think you're the one speaking in the League of Opportunities on Friday too. I'm pretty sure I saw your name around. Quick question. Do you have a legal team, or do you work with trade lawyers? I'm just thinking about this amazing member that we have in Miami. That might be a good connection for you. This is
Yeah.
something you collaborate with.
Yeah, thank you for that question. That's a great question. So, the short answer is we are not a law firm. We have a number of non-practicing attorneys who we have, including myself, at the company. So, we're not a law firm. We can't provide legal advice. We often find that a lot of our clients come to us because we have more favorable rates than a lot of
I
big
see.
Washington, D.C. firms, but can give the same kind of advice, although, again, not legal advice. In the case where we do need to provide legal advice, maybe there's a potential violation or other issue that needs to be under attorney-client privilege. We have a network of some excellent practicing trade attorneys who we can refer that work out to. That's a great question.
That sounds good. Thank you for clarifying that. I was thinking the same thing. Thanks, Cesar. Please, for all of you, feel free to put your information in the chat area and connect up separately. All of you are members, so that's a good because there's one level of trust now that you've reached. You should always be careful with anyone that you meet, but generally, if you're meeting with someone from the Global Chamber who's a member, you're going to be fine. And of course, if there's ever any issue, please let us know. There's very rarely we hear of that. So thank you, everybody, for attending today. Let's shift now to Robert Quinn, who's speaking of foreign markets, very deeply integrated into the semiconductor market. He's been, I think, the last 2 years a speaker at the Semicon Summit that we do. The Global Chamber Semiconductor Summit is the 5th annual one coming up on February 18th. And we've already been able to secure speakers from TSMC and Intel and a variety of people in the supply chain. The focus this year is about connecting in to the semiconductor supply chain. So, Robert, you have been very busy with CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, and not all semiconductor, but certainly technology oriented. You've come from the semiconductor industry, so you certainly know that. How was CES? Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
So, a little bit about me, Robert Quinn, semiconductor industry ambassador. I write and talk on LinkedIn. I have about 12 million people a year that like to read my content. I've come from the industry, started in 97, worked in manufacturing, worked into final test and the field service engineering, worked around the world, all the different fabs, and eventually started writing on LinkedIn and trying to kind of just put my 2 cents into it, and it somewhat exploded. Connected to a lot of people in the industry, in the semiconductor world. I get the privilege of being able to travel around the world and speak at events. I've spoken to the royal family in Oman. Recently, Chris Miller and I did an event at Texas Semiconductor Summit. Just being able to keep everybody updated about the world and about the technology, from geopolitics to the supply chains to everything that goes into making this technology evolution come together. So it's fun and great to meet everybody and to talk about the semiconductor industry and especially the supply chain. I really focus a lot. I do have a sponsor that I work with that's PartStat, which is an interesting company. They're able to come in and purchase chips. So, for example, GM will come in and say, "Hey, I have $300 million of chips at TSMC." We'll come in. We have $1 billion of buying capital per customer. We'll be able to buy those chips for GM, move them into a free trade zone vault, and then store them in that location until they wish to take ownership of them. And they'll usually say, "Send me 50,000 chips per quarter over the next 5 years." And so they have that supply chain readily available here in the U.S. How do we build sustainability into this industry? It really does. The supply chain just hangs on a thread, and we really have to build more sustainability into this industry supply chain. That it's been a big focus of mine lately, and talking about how we're going to build out that infrastructure. But yeah, I really enjoy being with the global chambers and being able to speak at the events. Arizona was Semicon West was a great event. believe that's in your background there, Doug. I was looking for myself somewhere in there behind your head. But it was great to be able to kind of put those people together. And we are a relationship-based industry. It is absolutely about that face-to-face relationship. One thing that I've learned through these 12 million views a year and all these connections on LinkedIn is that it absolutely takes the relationships and the trust and to be able to build a business within this industry. And so it's about building an omnipresence and understanding the how you do that and how you get into the industry and building your omnipresence and building your relationships with those customers. You're looking for in my industry usually we're looking for a person within an organization that can pull the trigger on a multi-million-dollar deal. If we're not looking for somebody else, if we're marketing or trying to get in front of the other people, you're talking to the wrong person. So, but love doing that. Doug, as far as who I could, if there's anybody that I could help with my supplier, my sponsor, as far as being able to help them, drive, being able to build supply chains. We're working with the largest companies in the world, being able to supply and store that supply chain is a 3PL, but also a 3PL that also is with deep pockets and able to purchase that inventory as well. But if there's also any other speaking events or anything like that, I love being able to travel around the world, speaking events, and just talk about this industry, where we're going, and how we're going to build sustainability into this industry. So love it.
Fantastic. When will China take over Taiwan?
Let's hope never. Let's hope never. It's going to be that's something that I don't think they ever want to do. But it's something that I also look at from a 30,000 foot view of how would that happen? And it wouldn't happen through a war. It would happen through sanctions. And so all China has to do is say we're not sending you food anymore, I think, and it would put a bigger strain on them than you believe. The other things, Doug, things like magnets. People don't understand 97% of the world's magnets are made in China. We talk about a lot, you hear this a lot about in the world that we're going to build this independence and we're doing it alone. I wrote an article recently called The Three-Headed Dragon. You have Europe, Americas, and Asia. We're the three-headed dragon. We share a heart. We absolutely depend on each other, and we rely on each other. And we have to have that dependence. China makes 97% of the world's magnets. You sanction magnets, you shut down the whole world. The reliability, how much we rely on these countries, and how much countries rely on each other is incredible. And by the time we get these, we carry these cell phones in our pockets every day. This thing's traveled 12 intercontinental borders before it's ever reached your pocket. The international supply chain is just huge, from the mining of the minerals to the processing of the minerals to the manufacturing of the phones, the manufacturing of chips. It's amazing what it takes to make this technology revolution happen. And it does. It really takes the whole globe. Nobody's doing it alone. So I think that's one thing that a lot of people have to get through their head is that we have to find a way to work together. And that's one thing that I really talk a lot about.
Sounds good. Thank you. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions for Robert?
Robert, I spent 2 years of my career working for ASML, which you might be familiar with, one of the largest semiconductor companies. So I don't know if that's a company you've worked with before. I know a lot of folks there, and I'd be more than happy to connect you if that's ever of interest to you. I connected with you on LinkedIn, so feel free to reach out.
That's great. Thanks so much, Matt.
Yeah, of course.
When did you leave there, Matt?
Oh, it's been 1, 2, 3, about 4 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, it would be probably good for the Semicon Summit. I think we've had some people there, but I'll circle back with you on that for sure.
Terrific.
I'm going to mortify myself and ask the stupidest question has ever been asked. What does a semiconductor do?
It's an on and off switch. One of the classes that I teach at I have a nonprofit organization called Semiconductor Industry Mobile Education Unit. I wanted to build a 52-foot semi, an 18-wheeler that expands to 1,000 square feet that you can take to underprivileged schools around the nation and give kids this aha moment of, I learned what semiconductors are and they're cool and I want this to be part of my career forever. We have to give kids this Disney World experience. But one of the classes I teach with those kids, right now I'm taking the kids to J.J. Pickle University of Texas lab. And I explain to them, I say, listen, from 30,000 feet, let me explain to you what we're doing. These chambers, they pump down to a vacuum of 10 e to the negative 9 torr. That's deep space vacuum. We're injecting a plasma as hot as the surface of the sun. We're exciting the molecules inside of these chambers. We're now making chips at 2 nanometers, 3 nanometers, and 3 nanometers in full process at a high yield. And that's 21 atoms wide. To understand that we're stacking atoms today, we've gone from a single transistor to stacking atoms, 21 atoms together to make these transistors today. And the technology evolution is absolutely, amazing. But it's this on and off switch and this gate that is just so critical that we're the amount of power that we're using different types of material science where we've now been able to take things like wide bandgap semiconductors to make new chips. You've seen your brick on that computer that you used to carry with your laptop. Well, now it's gone from this to this, and that's all because of wide bandgap semiconductors. Cool thing about wide bandgap semiconductors is that they're actually the silicon carbide, and it's actually not from this earth. It was actually discovered by a scientist quite a long time ago. The material was, and it was they've been able to recreate this material on Earth now. It's able to prevent the gate from the electron from jumping at high powers. And so now we have these, power everything. So you'll see all the you don't no longer have to carry this big brick with your computer, and now it's just a little thing now because we're able to use silicon carbide and gallium nitride and things like that to make this new material sciences. And
Well,
I'm excited.
Christopher, you ask a simple question and you got the answer. There you go. Did that
I've
help?
got a PhD now. Absolutely, absolutely. This is everything I never dreamt I would know. This is great.
You're you're
It's
now you're
wonderful.
now an expert, and the book Chip Wars is one of the best books you'll ever read about business, and it's definitely an amazing book about the interdependence of and the technology turnover and just the drama of the semiconductor industry. It's an amazing story, one of the best business stories I think you'll ever read. So Chip Wars definitely is worth a read. Thank you, Robert. Let's go to Christopher. Christopher helps folks speak better, clearly, be understood, and his background with the New York Times and other publications has given him the information. But he has a really nice, gentle, and but also strong way of getting people to change their behavior and the way they speak and the way they present themselves. So thank you for your good work. Who would you like to meet and how can we help?
Well, I would like to meet anyone who wants better English speaking, accent, writing, and presentations of all kinds. But I particularly would like to meet a company which has um, non-English or non-native speaker employees, and the employees need better English. So these could be American firms or overseas. One of the areas where I'm really interested in are these foreign call center people, for example, who speak good English, but you can't understand them because their accent is not good. I would love to work with those people. So I'm looking to meet HR people, talent development people, and anyone who has to work with people whose native language is not English. I work with people from all language groups, but I have certain specialties, which I've spent many years figuring out the exact problems of this language group. One of my big specialties is with Japanese speakers. Japanese speakers have particular problems in English, which other languages do not have. That was my major at Yale, Chinese and Japanese, and so I the Japanese language is kind of hard baked into to me, and I know what those problems are. Also, French speakers, Spanish speakers, Brazilian Portuguese speakers, they have particular accent problems, which are not present in European Portuguese speakers. And one of my big specialties nowadays are people who speak English. All of my clients speak English, but they often can't be understood. For example, speakers of Indian languages speak absolutely beautiful English, but they speak it much too fast very, very often. And particularly Hindi speakers speak it with a kind of pressure that no one can understand them. I've One of the areas that's been interesting me a lot is African speakers of African languages. They often speak beautiful English, but again, there's an accent issue, which is a big problem. I used to live in England, and you would hear this again and again. And of course, part of Africa is French speaking. And I love to work with people from French-speaking African countries. So my company is called Beautiful American English .com. I have all the information in the chat, and I'm looking for people who want to communicate better in English, and particularly people from companies who have this issue. Thank
Fantastic.
you.
Does anybody have any thoughts or ideas or questions?
Christopher, I'll share a thought with you. I'm the former president of the National Speakers Association, NSA. I don't know if it's an industry group you've ever worked with before, but our Arizona chapter, I know you're not in Arizona, our Arizona chapter, it just reminded me, we have a woman who's the current president who is a beautiful speaker in her native language of Portuguese. But in English, it is very stilted and hard to understand her. And I know I've talked about it with her before. There are a lot of other speakers within NSA who I think share the same issue. English isn't their first language. They're very smart people and excellent speakers, but often hard to understand. I'd be happy to try to connect you to someone in the local New York chapter or wherever is convenient for you, because I think
would love that.
There's a lot of people, even if English is their first language, who could speak better. A lot of presenters and writers in that group. But, there are certainly a lot of people in that organization who English is not their first language. And maybe NSA would be interested in talking to you about some of what you could offer. So happy to connect. And I connected with you on LinkedIn. So
I would love that. I do my work over Zoom, and so my clients are all over the world. I would love that. And yes, I would love to talk to you. Thank you very, very much.
terrific.
Christopher, I'm married to a Brazilian, so definitely.
Do you understand?
I know the pains you go through.
Yeah.
Just don't try the word teach the word beach.
Oh, I can do that in two minutes. The thing about Brazilian Portuguese is it is one of the most beautiful languages in the world, and one of the things that makes it so beautiful is the rhythm, which works beautiful in Portuguese, but in English, what they often do is it's like a big wave, like a surfer wave. So they'll like emphasize a word and the word gets lost. And that is what makes Brazilian Portuguese so lovely to hear, but it doesn't work in English. And this is easily fixed, easily fixed.
Cool. Hey, Robert, maybe have your wife connect in there for sure.
Could use some help.
Great suggestion. Speaking of French-speaking folks, Honore Donji is here, and twice it looks like. So, Honore, are you available to introduce yourself and say hi? And who would you like to meet? I think you're French-speaking, right? Parlez-vous français? Honore, are you there? I, if you hear me and you're having trouble unmuting, that's fine as.
Yes,
Oh,
I'm
there you.
here.
How are you?
I'm doing good. And you?
Was my mispronunciation of your name a problem, or
No,
we
it
all?
wasn't a problem.
Okay, very good. Well, where are you based? And who can we introduce you to? Who would you like to meet?
Yes, I'm based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm a US cross-border and expatriate tax specialist. I used to work for the Big Four accounting firm, doing mostly international tax work. But recently I transitioned to working on my own. So ideally, who I would like to serve, or who I'm already serving, are individuals, US individuals and businesses who are moving outside of the country, trying to expand their markets in other countries. So I advise them on the tax consequences in the US. And I also work with tax advisor in the country where they are doing business so that we can do some structuring for their business in order to reduce the tax liability. So I do the same work also inboundly for foreigners and foreign businesses who are trying to expand in the US. So I assist them with tax advice, explaining them the US tax system since they are getting exposed to something which is new compared to their home country or other country where they are already doing business.
Wonderful.
Yes. And then on the individuals, I work with a lot of individuals who are moving in the US, especially those who are coming to buy real estate in the US. So, or those who are moving here permanently. So I advise them on like pre-immigration, tax planning, so that they know what they're expecting in the US when they move to the US permanently. So my ideal, those are the type of ideal people which I like to meet, businesses and individuals who are into cross-border transaction. In terms of industry, there's no, I serve all type of industries. So whether you are into real estate, whether you are into engineering, manufacturing, and all the rest, I serve all those type of industries as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Appreciate that. Does
You're
anybody
welcome.
have any questions for Honore? Any thoughts? Any other
I
French speakers?
know this is tax time. A lot of people are trying to gather their document for their tax to file their tax return. Hey, if you need any help or assistance, yeah, I can assist you.
That sounds good. Thank you very much. Um, I, I saw Amr Abdul mention something in the chat area, so I was thinking that this was probably at a crazy hour for you in Yemen, so you might not be available. But if you are available, just unmute yourself, and we'll be happy to hear from you. Thank you for texting in the middle of the night or in the middle of the morning, and we appreciate your support and collaboration. Thank you, Amr Abdul. Speaking of amazing people, how about Bazil? Bazil, how about your taxes? Are you all set?
I gotta confess, my tax are always done at the end of the year. I'm the 15 October person.
Okay, fantastic. Bazil happens to be the world's most amazing expert on networking and connecting and, finding ways to help people do the connections that move things forward and create business. So thank you for your leadership. And I think about you every single day as like, I've got you on my list to call, and I need to put you at the top of the list instead of in somewhere in the middle. Thank you for all that you do. Who would you like to meet?
I want to meet the startups company.
Okay.
Uh, I'm interested in meeting them. I just trained one. It was interesting because I really teach them how to approach the people and how to move them through to the sale, the whole thing. And it was very interesting to do that. So startups company, definitely. And any other company with a sales team. because people are taught how to sell, but we discover they have not been taught how to network. Robert was talking about building relationships. Really, I would say we make building relationships and sales easy by teaching people how to network, because network come first before the sales. So in a nutshell, I would say that's what we do. So startups company and any company with a sales force, we can definitely help them.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Such an essential thing. We talk about giving connections, but at the end of the day, what do you do with the connection? You've got to build a relationship to move it forward, and it's such an essential component. Does anybody have any thoughts or ideas or questions for Basile? He's in the DC area, by the way.
Honore, I want to know, which country are you from? I meant to ask.
I'm from Cameroon.
Congratulations. I'm from Cameroon too.
Oh, nice. No, well,
I saw your name. I said, that name must be from Cameroon.
yes, and I came back from Cameroon last Friday.
Oh, okay. Very good. Well, we'll
Yes,
connect definitely.
yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks, gentlemen. Let's keep going around the room. Will and Deer, we haven't talked about logistics other than the interdependence of the semiconductor industry, and that to me was one of the fascinating parts of chip wars, of how all of this evolved from with Asian women in San Francisco with smaller hands that could handle things, and then that then became migrated out to Asia, and it's just how all of the logistics of that works is amazing. And in your case, you're an expert on logistics, Will. And could you let us know who you'd like to meet and how we can help you?
Yeah, thanks for the introduction. Yeah, it kind of spans across a variety of people. I'm always interested in meeting just about anybody. I'm a curious person at heart. But we handle import export, global shipping and air freight, air cargo. We do crisis management situations, and concierge type service. We have biweekly shipments into the Midwest. We have offices in Long Beach, Miami, Cleveland, and Chicago. So anybody interested in doing, the other point too is we handle LCL, which is less than container load. So people that are just doing smaller shipments, we have a consolidation facility in Taiwan, and in Germany as well. So anybody that needs to do any global shipping, please feel free to reach out, or anything else.
Sounds great. You're based in Southern California, I think.
Well, I'm actually in Chicago, but I spent a lot of time in Southern California.
Okay.
Um,
Are you in Chicago today?
I'm in Chicago today. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. We had a great presentation earlier today by BMO at the Global Chamber Chicago. I don't know if any of you saw it, but basically it was an outlook for the year. Really, really fascinating. It was it was a 60-minute Globinar that actually stretched to 90 minutes. It's been a long time since we actually kind of spilled over, and we spilled all the way over and made it an hour and a half, and it was chock full of really great information. So definitely will. You've got the ability to connect up to the Chicago chapter, which is going to be active this year, and also LA as well. So thanks for sharing today.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's go to Jim Cook in Florida. I thought I saw something from you, Jim, that said you wouldn't be able to join, but maybe that was another meeting. Or is there any? Are you able to share who you're looking for and how we can help? It looks like you became unmuted. Let's see. Oh, you're still muted though. Do you have a mic problem? Okay. Okay. These things happen. No worries. And so let's go to Bernd Haber. Bernd Haber in Phoenix, Arizona. How are you, Bernd? I've seen a few things from you here recently. Thank you for connecting up. It looks like you're meeting some fun people. Who else would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Yeah, hello everyone. Bernd from Phoenix. Rob, Chris, you probably notice a slight German accent. So for 30 years living in the States, maybe I'll reach out to you to fine-tune that piece of my language. So yeah, I came from Germany in 1996, living here, having lived here in Arizona. So I'm looking for partners. Have started 25 years ago a music industry business called World Strings Promotion, and it's a company that specializes in working with music artists from all over the world, primarily Europe and North America, send them on tour on each other's continent and be responsible for the tours. And so far, my biggest success story I would love to share is you all know the song Born to Be Wild. I'm sure you have heard the song before. The band behind the song is Steppenwolf, and the singer or the founder of the band, his name is John Kay. You may or may have not heard his name. So, you know, the guy with the dark glasses on stage, the singer. I had the great privilege after the band in 2018 expressed their interest after 50 years of rock and roll. That's it. But John had expressed at the time he want to continue solo. And here comes this German guy from Arizona, said, "Hey, I can work with you." I ended up working with him for about a year before COVID hit in 2019. I became his artist manager and booking agent. It was a phenomenal experience to working with someone, you know, rock and roll star. But I'm involved, and this is where I look up for partners and sponsors, actually. There's two endeavors that I'm involved with right now. One is called Nursing Rocks Concert Series. So what we do, we're a group out of Arizona. We're organizing concerts right now across the whole United States. All the major cities are on the map for nurses to celebrate and honor nurses because we call them the angels at the bedside. We all know from it started during COVID. The idea was born during COVID, but you know, the frontline workers. But there's no such thing necessarily to really honor the nurses. So we're organizing concerts across the United States, sponsored events to which then the nurses will be invited to attend for free, have a good time. And of course, based on the amount on the check that someone writes, we will be able to put some, you know, famous person on stage. We have about 20 chapters nationwide in each city. There's about 150 so-called advisory board members who work with us. These are the heads of hospitals, healthcare institutions, companies. They are non-healthcare institutions supporting us and helping us with putting these concerts together. And so we're looking for partners, definitely, but also sponsors who would be willing to chip in. And the idea is of organizing these events after all the costs are paid. The net proceeds will go to the local nursing schools or some scholarship funds in the city, in the state, and so on. That's one part. The second part for which we would like to seek help, and Doug, you probably have seen some email, and Caesar as well, is we are about to start a campaign reaching out to executive suites at airlines. You know, when you board an airplane, when you go on a flight, you sit down, and the pilot comes on the microphone and says, "Oh, are there any military service members on board? Well, thank you for your service." So we're starting a campaign to reach out to the airlines and do the exact same for nurses when you board. In particular, we're focusing on the first week of May. You may know it's called the National Nursing Week. So that's really focused on nurses countrywide or nationwide. We're partnering with one of the largest nurses associations. We're very close to a partnership agreement. We also in contact with one of the electric vehicle companies, and the companies, hopefully very soon, we can announce a partnership there or sponsorship there. So if you know anyone in C-suite airlines, anyone who would be willing to support a local event or a chain of events in the largest cities or major cities in the US. And the third piece for which I am looking for partners internationally is I have also, and I put some links in the chat. It's an initiative, it's part of World Strings called the New Sound Experience. You probably have all experienced, you go to a concert, live music concert, and it's either way too loud or you can't really enjoy it because it's just blasting one way. So I'm working with a company out of Vienna in Austria called Amadeus Acoustics. They're the world leaders in acoustic technology for any venue, any space, immersive spaces in the world, to introduce them to the North American market. But I'm looking for partners to curate special concerts at those venues that they have already curated, about 30 in Europe, to put together concert tours at those venues and really tell the world there's a very different way of producing live music shows. So anyone out there, please reach out to me.
Amazing. Oh, fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions for Bernd? Chris, go ahead.
I think that the nurses thing is absolutely great. And those are the people who should be making $3 million a year.
Agreed.
And the home health aides also.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were running the world, nurses' salaries would be tax free. But I'm not running the world. But they are the absolute greatest. So I just love your idea.
Thank you, Chris, for sharing. Jeff Darr is somebody that you should meet.
Doug, sorry for interrupting.
Yep.
Do you mind if I spend 10 more seconds on one of the initiatives ideas that we pursue with the Nursing Rocks concert series?
Sure. Being an old person, I just want to make sure that Cesar, just for Jeff Darr, the connection with Jeff is that he's involved in the music industry in Los Angeles. And I don't think I made that introduction yet, or we haven't, but probably is a good one. Please go ahead, Bernd.
So one of the ideas going back to the Nursing Week, National Nursing Weeks in May is, you all know the magazine, The New Yorker. So we're having already a good idea how to get to them. The person is a French woman at the editorial board of The New Yorker, who's in charge of the front page of The New Yorker. So what we want to see during that week on the magazine's front page is a bill of a nurse, period. And there's some history there going back to 1928 or so, when they had doctors and nurses on the front page, even during COVID, but not really dedicated to nurses. So that's one of the initiatives that we've started.
Pretty cool. Thank you. Does anybody else have any thoughts for Bernd or any other? Because we only have a couple minutes left. And hearing none, thank you everybody for joining today. Great conversation. Cesar, did you have anything that you'd like to add here at the end? You haven't had dinner yet, so are you going to jump in?
I'm here, Doug. I had dinner already.
During the meeting. Okay, cool.
I tried not to eat that late, so I had to do it.
Okay.
No, I just want to invite everyone to our League of Opportunities that's taking place on Thursday and Friday. Thursday is the part one is around I think it's 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific, and then on Friday is 11 and 8 a.m. And this is sorry, this is a call. My bad. So this is a call where we allow a couple members to introduce themselves, introduce their companies with a lot more time, bringing specific topics and opportunities. So if you're, especially those who are new to the Global Chamber, it is a good one to connect with prospect clients and partners as well. So check the calendar and feel free to join us at the end of the week.
Tomorrow there's 2 virtual meetings. One is the weekly global real estate call that happens at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And then in the afternoon, there's a Australia, US, France conversation about the opportunities. And the speakers are going to do a great job. I've seen their presentation, great information, and also hands-on activities about actually connecting in. There's also the in-person event at lunch in Los Angeles, downtown LA, and Little Tokyo. So if you happen to be in LA, probably a few if you can, but just in case. And then it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 events on Thursday and Friday. I think they're all virtual, so jump in along the way. Thanks everybody for your time. If you have any additional questions, please let us know. And if you haven't filled in Globi, please do. And if you have any edits to Globi, what's kind of cool is typically when you go back, it has what you have and you just make some edits. And so you can edit along the way. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.